Don't do well stuff like that.
Welcome to the fear place.
Yes.
Fear factor.
The fear place.
We're gonna throw it all in.
Yeah.
If there's anything left.
Do we have pen?
You know, something very important in pain and overcoming that and finding pure bliss. And I do believe that I personally went through experience a couple of years ago where I completely lost myself and didn't know who I was. I didn't know. And at that time I had no way out. I didn't see how, you know, I would feel now. It was just doom. And I see now that that made me who I am now, and it's much stronger, more powerful, more aware human being. So thank you for, you know, allowing us to take you on an uncomfortable journey of facing some of those things we all have because we're human, and they're okay, and we share them together. And you know, we throw you in quickly in a material that's maybe, you know, unfamiliar to some. So thank you for staying with an open heart for that. And it's difficult, you know, things come up, and maybe we can sit with them, and you can maybe journal a little bit after tonight if you like. Tomorrow we'll have a dedication because today we had to shorten things, and we'll give Eva space to do a lot of her session that she couldn't do today. So if you want to write about what came up yesterday and today, and see where this uncomfortable spot was, even if it's like I didn't like this or that didn't work for me, it's like okay, why might this not work? And you know, as Eva said, this will come out maybe in a month. It will be something that will be triggered, and the answer will come then. Not all the answers will come now. That's it. So I let the power of me take it up.
First, I want to say thank you to Amy and Sveti because this was, like, I believe, meant to be your time with rewriting your story with the fire. But due to how circumstances changed the plans for today, actually for me it's perfect since we're speaking about fears. And as part of rewriting our story, we do need to become aware of those fears. So some of you, for those who were here yesterday, I kind of gave you a little bit of introduction about what Asaman is and the philosophy I teach and how I use it through the language of astrology, which I'm not going to take the time today, bless you. I've had a lot planned. I know we don't have much time, so I'm gonna try my best to condense the information and be as helpful and as specific as possible. The group is getting bigger, and the time is getting smaller. Fear is kicking in, so
We're all jumping in.
Well, I think I'll be here for a few more days. I'll wait for that. The whole idea is that yesterday, something that I spoke about, as students in life, we all have our own learning lessons to learn. And of course, if we don't have any lessons to learn, we can completely roam around feeling lost in life between the thousands of possibilities. Of course, at our core, we are a soul and a spirit, but we still live in a physical 3D reality. And unless we know what are our physical limitations that help us put us back on track to what we are here to embody, which is our sun sign. For those who have very basic knowledge of astrology, our sun signs is something we're here to be. Oftentimes we don't feel fully connected to it. That's why when you read general astrological signs, it can apply to one person, but it might not apply to somebody else. Because we're all here to embody our sun sign or our expression in this life, which we're going to speak about on Thursday with Sveti. In general, most of us are stuck at the level of where our lessons are. And because it's difficult to confront them, and that's where resistance shows up, this is what in psychology, it's called trauma. In spiritual practices, it's called karma. It's one and the same thing. you can go to a psychologist or a therapist years and years and years and try to have a conversation and speak about these things and understand like what's the problem. Whereas for me personally, that's why I use astrology. It helps me very quickly navigate to where the problem is and the area where we need to confront these fears. Because at the end of the day, we can think of it this way. Inside of us, we all have the resources to be happy and to embody our sun sign. But imagine it, we all want to be diamonds, and for the most part, everybody likes diamonds, but diamonds need to go through immense amount of pressure for them to come out. It's not just so easy just to make a diamond. So it's the same with us. We have to go through difficult lessons, and sometimes when we are in the lessons, we're thinking, why me? What is happening to me? We love to victimize ourselves until we start learning that it's us who chose them. We decided to come here, we chose those lessons. There is no one person that has it easier or not. Doesn't matter how it looks on the outside. And we chose these lessons for a specific reason and purpose. It's part of our journey to face these lessons, because the other option is, if we don't want to confront these lessons, we don't want to be a part of life or active participants in life. When we have resistance, it's the same as us choosing depression. So every time you notice the sensation or feeling of resistance within you, instead of fighting it, question, inquire, be curious. Why do I feel this resistance? What is making me feel uncomfortable that I don't want to participate in this moment? And that question and that curiosity is going to bring you much closer to the answer, because the more you try to run away from it, the more it's easier to fall into that place of, I have no power, I have no control in that moment. I love, there was an interview I watched, I think it was Jim Carrey that said this. If we think about it, what is depression of wanting to face that challenge or obstacle we're facing in life? If we look at depression, that's deep rest. It's like we're trying to be somebody else that we're not, and all day long we're carrying a mask, but that mask is getting so heavy that by the time we get home, we just want to rest. Like we're tired of playing a role. And for the last 2.5 years, now it's going to end in this May, psychologically, everybody could have felt a lot of pressure, because we had a transit where we needed to look at our escapist tendencies and how we normally escape from everyday life through any type of addiction. So this can be absolutely anything, from whether that's alcohol, drugs, pornography, shopping, overeating. And it's good to kind of reflect on what's the thing that has control over us versus us having control over, that is we're using as a tool to escape from the discomfort. This is not about judgment, no, none of you or you judging yourself. It's more about asking yourself these questions, that you even approach yourself with more compassion and curiosity. Because that is the only way, until we have this transit now until May 29th. So for anybody who wants to overcome and change certain habits and behaviors, I promise you this will be the best thing you can do for yourself, especially until May 29th this year. Because otherwise, if you're not working in that direction, know that you cannot do it at a different time or later on, but it's going to get more challenging, because we're going to all start facing different lessons. So in order for us to transition and move forward in life, this is now the perfect time to face these fears, especially these fears that are on psychological level, and it's very difficult to tangibly see. It's not like you see a snake and you realize, oh yes, I'm afraid of the snake because for whatever reason I don't like them. It has to do more with our psyche and how we unconsciously respond to triggers and uncomfortable feelings and situations.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is that, do you say May 29th due to astrological reasons?
Astrological, also energetic shifts. So I speak from astrological perspective. I mean, there are different spiritual teachers. Everybody can follow different leaders and so on. So I'm sure that their verbalizing might be different. They can call it energy shift. I call it Saturn transit.
Like it's something in, with the planets and.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it's still something. It's still an energy that collectively it is experienced. And the only way for everybody to go through this process is through self-discipline. Because after the age of 18, nobody is responsible for us besides us. Nobody's going to come and tell us, you need to wake up at a certain time, you need to eat a certain thing, you need to do a certain thing. It only comes down to us. That's why it's helpful to kind of go back in the past and revisit our relationships with our parents, because no matter how bad they were, and believe me, for majority of the time, it's very rarely I see people that grew up in healthy and ideal families. But at some point, it becomes our responsibility now to be our own parents and to take care of our own lives. And yes, we might not feel like it. Oftentimes, I hear a lot. I don't feel like it. I also don't, feel like maybe waking up in the morning and not that I do exactly this, but just an example, going to the gym. But is that going to help me? Maybe sleep better, go about my day better, feel healthier, have more energy? Yes, it does. So it's not always about how do I feel, but as a parent, now looking at myself and me being my own authority or my own parent, what are the choices that I make that help me face my day-to-day challenges? And this is exactly what we're going to look right now in our charts. To have this conscious awareness, this is the area of life my lessons show up, and these are the obstacles and fears or resistance within me that I need to face. Because the good thing is, there is always good news. I always say this: there is never an ending until it's a happy ending. The good news is that in that area, because we go under so much pressure, especially in the first part of our lives, and for those who are over 37 probably are more aware of this, that's when actually we start reaping the results of these difficulties that we went through. In that area, we can actually become experts. We can become really masters of our own lives to the point where we can help and teach others. And this is the most beautiful thing. So especially when we, again, approach these lessons with awareness, we don't have to keep on resisting and fighting ourselves, but we can actually have the courage to face them and understand that, yes, it's not going to feel comfortable. And maybe today I'm going to be better at it. And tomorrow I might not see much improvement. But it's the place where you need to put the most effort or be an active participant in life. Okay, so I don't know how much time we have. I know I'm speaking very fast, but I just want to make sure that
We love your class. We're not in a rush.
no, I just don't know what time we have the space until we have a lot of people.
Well, we can always go to the beach.
Yeah. We'll go to the restaurant.
So some people, I noticed they have, because, okay, let's put it that way. For those who are interested in the spiritual side of it, if we look at karmic lessons, usually karmic lessons, they're generational. If we connect it to astrology, we have a transit of Saturn, which normally goes for about 2.5 years. So people born in, let's say, 1980 to 1982 are probably going to have the exact same Saturn placement, or the exact same lessons, but they're going to play out in different way in their life. But it's very similar. So just because we're a lot of people, for those who have the same Saturn placement or are born in about 2-year time span difference, I'm going to speak to you as a couple and then just give you a little bit more individual guidance. For that reason, we have how many pens? 2? We have 2?
I have
Okay.
one.
So yeah, since we have limited supply of pens, for those that I'm speaking to, I'm going to give you the pen if you want to write on the piece of paper in front of you. And again, you can reflect that within your own experience, within your own life, how it shows up, how exactly you process it. Write those fears down, because at the end, we're going to burn them away. And just to give you an explanation, this is also shamanic practice. Normally, fire symbolizes the... Okay, let me track back just for a second. In shamanic practices, it's said like this: we all feel something, we all experience something, but absolutely no one can understand our emotional experience to 100%. Nobody can be in our body and feel exactly what we feel. And everybody's level of sensitivity is different. For that reason, when we experience, whether that is pain or fear or we just want to cry, what shamans do is that they give that discomfort to nature, and nature takes care of it. So when we have fears, we give fear to fire, because fire helps to transform the fear into love. So this is the whole idea of why at the end we're going to write everything down on a piece of paper and we're going to burn it in the fire. Okay. Now let's begin with the charts. And my eyesight is challenged. So let's see. I think, Kat, you are the youngest, which is good. So I'm going to start with you. Because it's going to impact everyone.
Oh, I have a pen.
What is that? Oh my God! You're so cute. You're like
So Jenny.
what is that? Detective.
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector
Born
Gadget.
after 1980.
You're in trouble. No, I'm just kidding. But for everyone collectively, from May 29th, so from June, Saturn is gonna jump into Aries. What that means, what are the lessons? The lessons are, who am I? And how do I express myself in the world? And do I have the courage to be myself? It's about having the courage to assert what you want, what direction you want to go into, what do you believe in. Especially for you, it's going to have to do with what you believe in personally. So it has to do with who am I and what do I believe, and to defend your beliefs. And because it's in Aries, we're going to meet a lot of resistance. For example, you believe that in your job you need to be paid this amount of money, and they tell you, but you're not at the right age. You don't have the right skills. So you're going to be constant resistance from the outside. And at some point, imagine it's something you really want. If you stop believing in yourself, how it's very easy to fall into depression and say, like, I'm just meeting all of this resistance from the outside, I cannot do it. But here's the catch, that it's just tests. Tests are sent to you. Do you have the courage to be yourself? And then for 2.5 years, you're going to be tested. And if you can just mentally know that, yes, you deserve that. Yes, you're going to get your way. But you're just going to have to learn patience and not take the no's that you receive from the outside as something personal, but use them as building your skills, or maybe changing your day-to-day schedule. Just working on yourself, because that then gives you so much knowledge that then makes you an expert. It's like in school.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you test and test and test, and you're going to keep on probably failing, and you're going to hear no until you sit on your butt, you get disciplined, and you believe in yourself, and get that exam. Because when you do that, and you don't run into, oh, but why me, but this is so difficult, and so on, so you're going to have to be active. At the end, so that's 2.5 years, so it's going to go now in June. 2.5 years is 2027. At the end, 2028, you're actually going to get what you want. The good thing about Saturn is that it's like gives you pressure. It like steps on you, like just makes you feel like small and like everything is falling apart. But the more you are able to have resilience and discipline, at the end, it actually gives you a material physical accomplishment. And so they said we're all going to enter this period from June. Everybody's going to have to face the lesson of who am I and what am I here to be, to represent, and to fight for in life. This is all going to be about having the courage, because if we don't find the courage within us, which is exactly rewriting your story and the retreat everybody's here on, we're going to have a very shit time. I promise you that much.
Thanks.
The rest,
Thanks very much.
you're welcome. The rest depends on you, because somebody else can give you can walk halfway to you, can do 50%, or can guide you, or whatever the case is, but they cannot do it for you. The rest 50% is going to be dependent on you and the choices you make. Listen, I'd rather be real and honest, because when the time hits, then you know, okay, there is nobody to count on, it's just me. And even if I need help, it will still depend on me to look for the help that I need. There is no savior that is going to come and magically appear and save you, or the prince on a white horse. I wish. That didn't show up for 36 years, so. Now I turned white.
Waiting for the horse.
Just riding my life.
Look at that mane. It's a good thing.
I'm not gonna make the sound because that would be too much.
We love you.
Thank
you. We love you.
Sorry.
That was very
You are a
helpful.
beautiful horse.
Thank you. Actually,
What kind of beautiful horse?
the spiritual symbolic meaning of horses, they're connected to travel and meaning.
Oh.
Yeah. So in those moments, it could be good to get a statue of a horse next to you to remind you. Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay.
I want to take a picture of you.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna go now. Actually, I'm in that age group too, with Saturn in Sagittarius, which I'm gonna go over those who we share similar lessons with. But we also need horses, so it's perfect. Now that's why I said that we turn into a horse.
A beautiful one.
Yeah. Have a white stallion. We're gonna have all different colors here. Okay. So your lessons in this life, again, always remember this. Usually until 37, it's pain in the ass. After 37, the ride gets more enjoyable. Yeah.
You must be younger then.
So, and you're 39. So from now on, all the challenges you went through, which have to do with finding meaning at home. And finding a sense, for example, people with this chart can very easily, let's say, grow up in a family that has a particular religious belief or way of life that it doesn't make no sense to you. So all your entire life, you can try to look for the answers. What is my ideal family look like, or is there even any point of making a family since I grew up in such an unpleasant environment? You can form your own philosophy about what home means to me. That has nothing to do with the way you grew up and what your parents taught you to believe. And probably at this point, you already have an idea of what home looks like to you, or what would feel like home that you didn't experience. And it's okay if you didn't also meet the person that you want to create this home with, and you can feel it's like, oh, I'm 39, I haven't met the right person. It's okay, because like I said in the beginning, Saturn gives us a hard time, but then it gives us something substantial. So you're going to meet that person that it feels so fulfilling and so meaningful. But we always say this, after 37. It could be 40, 45. The point is you're going to meet that person But you have to go through these lessons so you can create the home that actually feels right for you. And what this can also create, that sometimes here can be the fear, since we're speaking about a fear. In case I miss, please, because I want us to focus on writing fears into the paper. Come back to you, Kata. I didn't mention this. With you, the fear could be, should I be emotionally vulnerable to what I need? To emotionally express what I need. So allow yourself, and I think yesterday we spoke about, the needs we have at home. So allow myself to be open about them and know that you deserve that and this is what you want.
Yeah, I don't advocate for my needs.
No,
A
yeah.
lot. I rule a lot in.
So this have been the difficulties, fear of emotional vulnerability to what is meaningful for me and what I need to feel safe and protected and home. So this would be your main lesson in life. Like I said, the more you actively work towards it, at first it might not feel comfortable. Even within this group setting, you might not feel comfortable about it right away. It might take you time. It's like, is it safe to share? Who really cares? It's more about, it doesn't matter, like none of us exist. If we're just projections of you. But it's more about, I'm doing this for me and to like test myself. Today I'm going to open up and I might feel very at ease. Tomorrow I might not be. And it's okay. It's my own journey. It's my own lessons. And I'm the one who's taking charge of them. And then over time, like I said, this helps you, this practice helps you build mastery in that area. And then later on, you can be that partner who is very supportive of another person. If they have difficulty emotionally open up, you have such a greater understanding that you can read them across the table. So it's like I said, it's a challenge first, then it becomes a strength. But you know this very well. Like when you go through a very painful experience, that's when you have a compassion for another human being because you know what it feels like. So for fears, that's where we focus on. So since you're in our circle of finding meaning in life and creating your own philosophy about life and what's meaningful to you, but with you, since it falls in the third house, this would be very helpful if you're teaching something. You can either teach somebody else to find their own meaning and how to find their own meaning, or teach children.
That's actually what I do.
Yeah. So perfect. But you teach them.
So I have daycare business,
Okay.
and I also have a business consulting business where I teach and do consultations for people interested in childcare and even finance, and I've even taught like investing in stocks for beginners and money management, a bunch of like I'm in the process of developing that.
Okay. And as part of your consultations, do you guide them maybe what program would be ideal for them, why they should sign up, like give them a...
Yep, I'm working on the website right now as we speak because I've been doing it since 2019, the business consulting, but I'm in the process of, building a website and I want to take it to the next level. Like, that's in the works.
So I'm not worried about you in that regard. That's exactly what you need to do. Okay, let me ask you this. Did you have trouble with, for example, when you were little, did you have a stuttering problem? Or did you start speaking lately?
No, not that I know of. No, I don't think so.
No? There is some connection, but I mean, it's good you were working through it. Something about, or maybe when you were little, found it difficult to allow yourself to be a child or to feel young.
I always wanted to be grown.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So exactly. So that's how we pay the karma back, when we work through children and help them. But she's doing a great job. She's already working in that direction. So you need to continue that.
I've been in childcare for 14 years, so I've been
Perfect, yeah.
I love what I do. Like I feel like I'm living with purpose.
And I definitely know you're great at it.
Yep.
Because like I said, Saturn makes us experts in that area. Was it difficult for you when you started?
Not really. Like
No.
I worked and I made it happen. Like I had a plan and I followed my plan and I accomplished every single goal that I set my mind to. I mean, it hasn't been easy, but
Definitely,
I
no, it's
put
supposed to
in
be
work.
easy.
Like
Yeah.
oh,
Exactly. Look, perfect example. Actions.
Yes.
Every single day.
yep. Consistency is
and
the
day
key
out.
to success. Literally, you have to wake up every day and work towards that goal. Not when you feel like it, but every single day. And the more you do it, you're gonna see results and you're gonna love it. You know, it's hard to feel good and want to do things when you don't see results. But when you see results and you get the results by being consistent, like and always learning, educating yourself. If you don't know something, Google it. I use an app called Blinkist, and it has like books in 15-minute like blinks, and I listen to books while I'm driving, while I'm getting ready in the I mean, not really in the morning, but like while I'm driving, while I'm showering. Whenever I have a chance, I listen to a book. I read as often as possible. So yes, you just have to be consistent. It takes hard work, but you can literally do whatever you put your mind to.
She's being a teacher right now.
Yeah. And she will be great at giving advice and
Yeah, I do that. I do
you
that.
actually, for like day-to-day practical things.
Like my Instagram, that's all I do. It's like post motivational, inspirational stuff.
Which brings me again to the main topic. Love is not something we need to search and look for. We create it in the process. So you might not feel like it every day, but it's something that we create when we put our energy, attention, and focus towards it, including with ourselves too.
Waiting's gonna do this.
I mean, let's all like come together in a little circle.
Watch your